Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to go to order of operations and substitution. We're going to start with order of operations. So everybody already has this written down. So P, remember, stands for parentheses. And when I say parentheses, I mean, is there anything inside that you need to do? Is there any pluses, any minuses? Is there any operations inside? E stands for exponents. And then multiplying and dividing, those two go together. That's why I wrote them together. So it's, is there any multiplication or dividing? And here's the thing, it doesn't always have to be multiplying. It has to be whatever farthest on the left. So you have to go left to right for this. So if you have a multiplying and dividing right next to each other, you do the one on the left. And then the next thing I have is addition and subtraction, and it is the same rule. You must go left to right. Too many times people will do multiplying first or addition first because they think it goes in that order, but M and D are attached and A and S are attached. Okay, so I have two problems that I want to do, and I've kind of written them out so that we can show our work. Even if you think you don't know it, you need to write it down because it will be helpful for your exam. Okay, so the first one, when I have this, I ask myself, do I have any parentheses? And yes, I do. I have something inside, so that's what I do first. So my first step is parentheses. And so I get 2 plus 3, 4 minus 5. Those are different signs. It's blurry. So different signs you're going to subtract. And so I get negative 1. Now I ask myself, do I have any parentheses? Well, I have parentheses, but there's nothing really inside to do. So then I go to exponents, and I don't see any exponents. And then I go to multiplying and dividing, and I do have one right here. So for that one, I'm going to multiply. And so 3 times negative 1 is a negative 3. Now I go back to parentheses. I don't have any parentheses. Go to E for exponents. I don't have any exponents. Go to multiplying and dividing. No multiplying and dividing. So the only thing I have is adding and subtracting right here. And so this is where I'm going to add. And 2 plus negative 3, that's different signs. So different signs you subtract. And since the 3 is bigger, it is negative 1. Okay, let's do example number 2. This one's longer. So go ahead and make sure you write it down so that you're able to understand it all and have a reference for it when you take your test. So I start with P. I don't have any parentheses, so I'm good there. I do have an exponent, which is right here. So that's what I'm going to do first. And so negative 10 divided by 2 times 3 minus 6 plus 25. So I just brought everything else down. No parentheses, no exponent. Now I look for multiplying and dividing, and I have several of them. So I'm going to do this one on the left because it's the one farthest on the left. So I'm going to divide first. So I didn't multiply first. I did whichever one was on the left. So this is negative 5. I bring everything else down. No parentheses. No exponents. I do have some multiplying and dividing. I'm going to do this one. So I get negative 15 minus 6 plus 25. Now all I have left is adding and subtracting. I'm going to go left to right. So I do this first. A negative 15 and a negative 6 is a negative 21. Bring down the 25. Negative 21 and a positive 25, different signs subtract, and so it's 4, and since 25 is bigger, it's positive 4. For substitution, the first thing you have to be able to do is you have to be able to do order of operations. So what's going to happen is you're going to plug in numbers into parentheses. If you don't use parentheses, sometimes it's going to be wrong, especially if there's exponents. And then we use order of operations. So I have this reference over here that we'll use. Okay, so let's say x is 2, y is 3, and z is -1. Now I'm not going to plug them in everywhere for parentheses. I'll kind of show you when I'm going to do that. But here's the problem we're going to do. 2x minus y plus z times y minus z. I will not plug them in parentheses here because I already have parentheses, but I will do it everywhere else. So x is 2, y is 3, z is -1. Oops, I wasn't supposed to write that y there. And then here, y is 3, and z is -1. So if you notice, the only place I didn't use extra parentheses was where I had parentheses, because I didn't want us to get confused. So now I'm going to use my operations, my order of operations, and I have a parentheses. I have this right here. I need to do that. And so remember, those two touching become positive. So I get 2 times 2 minus 3 plus -1 times 4. I took these parentheses down because there was nothing next to them, so there was going to be nothing to do. I don't have any parentheses. I don't have any exponents, but I do have some multiplying and dividing. So I start on the left. So 4 minus 3 plus -1 times 4. I got another one I can do right here, multiplying. 4 minus 3 plus that right here is -4. Now the only thing I have left is adding and subtracting, so I start on the left. 4 minus 3 is 1, plus -4, and 1 plus -4 is -3. If you're confused on any of this, you should go back and look at section D. No, not section D, but unit C. We spent some time on this, and there's lots of examples, okay? But take your time, remember your integer rules, and do one step at a time.